one, Brandon, I think we really talked about it because we're getting close to the top of the hour, but we talked about with the 9 elements, we talked about social proof. Okay, one of the things you're doing is gathering social proof. That integrates right with your website. How about video marketing? Okay, so video marketing certainly goes right with it. How about when you look at social media? Can you use elements from your social media from your website on drive traffic back and forth or visitors back and forth? The
Or, yeah.
answer is yes. So other ways we could think of, we could really again go into a whole course about, and we have articles about it. And what we'll do is post some articles underneath this video so that people can learn how these things integrate together without us having to spend a bunch of time on it tonight. So please know that when you have a converting website, that it does integrate completely with all your other marketing strategies. Okay, so it definitely does. Let's look at a couple more. There was a couple here that I really liked. Um, how does a converting website enhance your customer experience? Okay, so I pushed the wrong button. Okay, so Brandon, your thoughts on that?
I mean, in a lot of cases, it's the first introduction that you have to your company to the client, right? And so it's just like any other first impression. In this case, you want it to be an impression of trustworthiness. We've talked about that a little bit here already by reviews and other elements that speak to the client. Are they professional? Those are probably the two big ones that come to my mind, especially, versus is it all about me, my credentials, my license number that means nothing to the customer, right? And what are they going to do for me? And that's really the introduction that I give to the client if that's their first, experience with us is our website.
I have to tell you, I agree 200%. I think here's what happens, and you know this because you've answered the phone just like I have hundreds of times. So when people have already seen your website, it's way easier to talk to people about it. You don't have to sell them anything. They've already consumed the content on your website. They're basically predisposed to schedule. But think about this, mom and dad are, put a contract on a house, and, dad has to go out of town on a Monday, and mom is left there alone to get the home inspection. And so she's reading websites and she's reading all about my credentials, me this, me that, this, that, and the other. And she's bummed out. And then she comes across your website, which addresses the biggest concern that she has on her mind is, how are you going to help me prevent buying the money pit? That's what kept me and my husband up last night, was worrying about buying that money pit. And what happens, your website, the first thing she sees, your first impression, like you described, is a total mind reliever. You know what she does? She sits back and now she's going to read. And you know what happens is when you speak at a real estate group, they have their arms folded like this. You know what I'm saying? You know what that nonverbal
Oh yeah.
clue is? We ain't listening to a damn thing you got to say. But you know what? That's how she felt after reading these non-converting websites. Her back was up. She's like, what's wrong with these people?
Hmm.
Then she reads, you address her biggest fear, biggest problem right up front, man. She unfolds those arms. Now she's really ready to receive the rest of the message that you have to share. Okay, so it's that user experience. It's that, okay, finally somebody gets it message. And and make no mistake about it, they shop, they do. Especially today when, inflation's high and all that, people are looking for a value.
Hmm.
But what they're not looking for is to get ripped. Okay, so when she sees your website, then she can just take that moment and now she reads on. So I think then what happens is she works right down the 9 elements. And it's easy to see why customers then book online with you because it's all about them. It's all about them. I'm not going to book with Brandon until I can look at his inspection report. What if it's horrible? What if it's that handwritten? What if it's on a cocktail napkin with a drink stain and we can't read it? I mean, there is no unimportant elements on that website.
Hmm.
None. And they have to be thought through from the consumer's perspective. I say to people all the time, have you ever gone looking for something and you see somebody's website and you say, what's that joker doing? I mean, that's the worst website I ever saw.
Hmm.
I mean, I can't tell you how many times our team looks at them and says that. It's just terrible. The user experience is horrible. They don't address anything I'm looking for. It's all about them. But that's not what this is about. So I think converting websites give the customer a relaxed moment, a breath of fresh air. Okay, now somebody finally gets it. Let's have the conversation. So to me, that's it.